The ICC arrest warrant has dramatically sent Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu into effective hiding, as he conspicuously skipped the high-stakes World Economic Forum gathering in Davos, Switzerland. Benjamin Netanyahu was notably absent from Davos, reportedly due to very real fears that he could be swiftly arrested upon setting foot on foreign soil amid the legal storm. Switzerland, serving as the official host country for the forum, happens to be a committed signatory to the Rome Statute that formally established the International Criminal Court back in 1998. Under the binding provisions of that international statute, Swiss authorities would be legally obligated to detain Netanyahu immediately if he dared to enter the country without immunity. In his high-profile absence from the spotlight, Israeli President Isaac Herzog stepped up to represent Israel at this prestigious and influential global economic gathering packed with world leaders. Isaac Herzog held crucial one-on-one meetings with senior international figures, including German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock, to advance Israel's diplomatic agenda. During those intensive discussions amid tense geopolitics, Herzog sharply criticized the glaring lack of robust Israeli representation at the otherwise star-studded forum proceedings. The Israeli president also passionately called for the immediate withdrawal of all ICC warrants unjustly issued against high-ranking Israeli officials serving their nation. The ICC warrants specifically target Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant over explosive allegations tied to purported war crimes committed during the Gaza conflict. These grave allegations prominently include the intentional use of starvation as a ruthless method of warfare alongside deliberate and unlawful attacks targeting innocent civilians in populated areas. Notably, Russian President Vladimir Putin also made the calculated choice to skip the Davos forum entirely, as a lingering 2023 ICC arrest warrant continues to loom ominously over him. The ICC has formally accused Putin of heinous war crimes directly related to the unlawful deportation and forced transfer of vulnerable Ukrainian children from occupied territories. At the bustling Davos summit, Donald Trump boldly rolled out his ambitious Board of Peace initiative, drawing 19 countries into attendance despite widespread international skepticism. Netanyahu formally accepted a personal invitation from Trump to join the controversial board despite the ICC warrant hanging over his head like a dark cloud. Putin was also extended an invitation to join this elite board, even though he stands indicted by the ICC over his brutal 4-year war of aggression unleashed against Ukraine. However, unlike Israel's quick embrace, the Kremlin cautiously said it was still seeking to clarify all the nuances and fine details surrounding the intriguing yet risky offer. On January 21, Putin publicly stated he would openly discuss the potential use of frozen Russian assets to provide tangible support and aid to the Palestinian cause internationally.
Of course, as for the Peace Council, we have indeed received a personal appeal from the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, with an invitation to join a new international structure created on his initiative, the Peace Council. In this regard, I would first like to thank the U.S. President for this proposal. We have always supported and continue to support any efforts aimed at strengthening international stability. We also note the contribution of the current U.S. administration to the search for a solution to the Ukrainian crisis. As for our participation in the Peace Council, the Russian Foreign Ministry has been tasked with reviewing the documents we have received, and they will consult with our strategic partners on this matter, and only then will we be able to respond to the invitation we have received. The proposal made to us primarily concerns the settlement in the Middle East and the search for possible ways to solve the pressing problems of the Palestinian people and resolve the most acute problems of the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. In this regard, I would like to note the main thing. The main thing is that the entire process should have a positive impact on the long-term settlement of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, based on the relevant decisions of the United Nations. And it is necessary to take into account the basic needs and wishes of the Palestinians. This concerns the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip and its basic social infrastructure, healthcare systems, water supply, and the establishment of uninterrupted food supplies. Therefore, even before we decide on our participation in the composition and work of the Peace Council, given Russia's special relationship with the Palestinian people, I think we could send $1 billion from Russian assets frozen under the previous U.S. administration to the Peace Council. Incidentally, the remaining funds from our frozen assets in the U.S. could also be used to rebuild territories damaged during the hostilities after the conclusion of the peace treaty between Russia and Ukraine.
Remember, Just on January 21, Trump confidently claimed that Putin had already verbally agreed to join his highly controversial and polarizing Board of Peace peacekeeping venture.